Language practice should aim to be meaningful, engaging, form-focused, and repetitive. How do you get students to exchange meaningful written messages with a focus on form? One great idea is to get them to write to a pen pal. Now, how do you maximize the number of meaningful repetitions? Use the Virtual Writing Tutor's Pen Pal Exchange. In this video, I'll show you how to set up a Pen Pal Exchange and match up students in your own classes or in a class taught by another teacher. Before we get started, you'll need an account on the Virtual Writing Tutor. Click Login, create an account, add your email and password twice. Let us know that you're not a robot and click Create an Account. The system will send you an email. Check your spam folder if you don't see it within a minute or two. Once you've filled out the form and created your profile, you're ready to begin. First thing you'll need to do is to create a template. So click on Templates and click New, and then fill out the form with the number of sections and topics you want. If you want to start more quickly, go to Examples and import an existing template. Here I'll import Pen Pal Exchange for International Friends. There, now you have a template. Next step is to create groups. So we'll go to Groups, click on a new group, and we'll give the group a name. Call it my Monday group with Nicholas Walker. All right, now that I have a group, the next step is to deploy a template. So I'll go to my group, I'll view it, and I'll deploy a template. Now, the template that I'll attach is this one, Pen Pal Exchange for International Friends. And I'm going to auto-deploy this template. That means whenever a student joins the group, they'll immediately see a Pen Pal Exchange based on this template. Now that I've deployed a template, I need to send invitations. So I'll go to Invitations, and I'll click New. Click Accept below to become a member of this, and I'll call it Monday Group. And I'll select the group, which is Monday, and I'll save. Click View, and I copy the URL from the address bar. Now I can send the URL to my students using email. Now I'll show you what happens when the student receives the URL in the email that you sent them. They'll see the invitation. It looks like this. Assuming that the student has already created an account, he or she will log in and click Accept this invitation. The system will then deploy the template that you chose or created, and it'll appear here under the words Exchange Name. Now notice the sections that are available. I write messages about myself here, and here is the exchange. I reply to messages written by my pen pals here. Now there aren't any pen pals here yet because the teacher needs to assign them. Let me click on the Pen Pal Exchange so you can see what it looks like. So the student will click here and see a series of posts. Now, if they click on the title, the system will tell them they haven't written anything yet. They have to click on Edit. So clicking on Edit, they get the Pen Pal Message Editor. Now here you can see the evaluation criteria set by the teacher. That's you. And it says total score for this message 10 points. Word count minimum 200 words, and you'll get 2 points for writing 200 words. Targets. So here are the target vocabulary items that the teacher expects to see in my message. Dear pen pal, best wishes, my name is, years old, live in, study, work, etc. And there has to be at least 6 of these targets in my message. If I write 6, if I use 6, I'll get 2 points. Now I'm allowed to make 2 errors. The system will be checking my grammar, and if it finds more than 2 errors, I'll lose these 2 points here. But if I have 2 or 1 or 0 errors, then I'll get the 2 points. And I'll get 2 points for adding an image and 2 points for adding an audio recording. So let's create the message now. Dear pen pal, my name is Nick. What should I say? I am 48 instead of years old, and I'll leave that error in there so we can see what happens when there's an error. I studying instead of study, my second error. Applied linguistics. And I live at Montreal. There's my third error. Best wishes. Oops. Nick. Now, I can record by clicking on record. And the system will ask me to allow the microphone. Then I have to click start and say, Dear pen pal, my name is Nick. I am 48-year-old. I studying applied linguistics. I live at Montreal. Best wishes, Nick. Press stop. The audio recording is automatically added. If I'm not satisfied with it, I can click on the trash can here and it will be removed. But I'll leave it. Now, I'll check grammar. And it says you are either missing an article or an S. Did you mean 48 years old or a 48-year-old? I studying. You need an auxiliary helping verb here. Did you mean I am studying? I live at Montreal. The usual preposition before town, city, and region names is in. Did you mean in Montreal? All right, so it's detected 3 errors. Now, normally, as a student, I would correct these errors, but let's see what happens if I don't. So I'll just click on save. And the system saves my text and checks for targets and the grammar errors. Now you'll notice it's counted 22 words, it's counted 3 errors and 3 target structures. Now when I go back to my dashboard by clicking on home, the system will load my exchange and it'll show me my score. Now I can click on this score to see the breakdown of my marks. And it will show me here, topic 1, introduction, your score 2, maximum score 10, and there's a little down arrow here which we can click on and it shows me the problem. Your word count 22, minimum word count 200. Your word count score 0. Maximum word count score 2. Targets, minimum 6, your target structure count, and it shows the target structures that I used, and there are only 3 of them. And so my score is 0 and the maximum score is 2. Your error count 3, maximum error count allowed 2, your error count score is 0. Image count 0, and I should have 1 image, so my score is 0. Your audio count 1, minimum audio count 1, your audio score is 2, so the maximum audio count score that I can get for this is 2. I can return to my dashboard here and I can go back to my exchange, click on edit and make any changes if I like. Now I want to show you how to match up students with pen pals. So I'm going to log in as a teacher and I'll visit my groups and I'll look at my group of international friends. So here you can see the student added to the group after accepting the invitation. So I'm going to assign pen pal guests and I'm going to scroll down and I'll go down to his group and I can select from within his group, or I can select students from a different group. I'll start by adding guests from this group. I'll select one and I'll click Add. And then I'll go back and I'll add another one. And I'll click Add. Now these two students here are able to reply to this student's messages, but in order for this student here to reply to other people's messages, I'll have to add him as a guest. So I'll scroll down and select this new pen pal as a guest and add him. So now this pen pal has 2 guests in his exchange and has been added as a guest to 2 other exchanges. So now let's log in as that student to see what he can see. We'll now log in as a student and wait for the system to load the exchange. Here are the pen pals that this student can reply to, and these are the pen pals who can reply to this student. So let's have a look what happens when we click on a name. We now visit the other student's pen pal exchange, and we can see that there's a message here of 207 words. So let's click on it, and you see that this pen pal has added an image and written a text, and we can write a reply. Dear Adrian, I love tacos also. Where do you live? Best wishes, Nick. And I can click post. Now I can go back home, and now when I return to my dashboard, you see that I have a score for writing a reply and the date that I made the reply. And now I can reply to the other pen pals in my group. So there you have it, a system for exchanging messages with pen pals around the world. Now there's just one last thing that I should show you. For teachers who want to share groups with other teachers, you need to go to your group, click on View, and click Share Link. Share the URL by sending it by email to another teacher, and they will be able to import your students to their groups. And if they do the same and send you their URL, you'll be able to import their students. And in this way, you can match students up from other classes at other schools around the world. Thank you very much. I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy your pen pal exchanges with your students.